Hello, my name is Morag Martin. I'm the Graduate Director for History at SUNY Brockport. We have a 33-credit program that has 4 different tracks. We have an American history track, a world history track, a world and American combo that is principally aimed at teachers, high school teachers who want to be able to teach in both fields, and we have a new public American history track. The American and World History track also have a minor field, and that minor field is very flexible. A lot of our American historians do World as their minor field, but you can also do education, you can do women's studies, you can do anthropology, you can do English, or you can put together a combination of different courses from either history or other fields as part of your minor. The public history track has within it 2 internships that are required, as well as required public history and museum studies courses. And you can take courses across the campus in different aspects of museum studies as well in other departments. We really try to tailor our programs to what students need, what their professional goals are, and what they want to use the MA for. A good number of our students are interested in the MA for high school social studies accreditation, but others are interested in going on to either teach at the community college level or going on to do a PhD. We also have a number of students now who are interested in the public history track to go to do archival work or work in museums, as well as students who do the MA in history as a way to better their knowledge and ability to get into things like law school, library school, or even go on to other fields of business and so on. We have expectations for our applicants. We're looking for somebody with either a major or minor in history and at least a 3.0 overall, but definitely a 3.0 or above in history. If you have a non-traditional background, if you were not a history major or minor in college but have a strong interest in history, have been studying history on your own ever since, we really do appreciate those kinds of students, and we look at you seriously, and we've often given those students a chance and they have been successful. We want you to have strong analytical and writing skills, so what you turn in as your writing sample is very important. We're looking for a piece of sustained writing and possibly research from an upper level history class. But again, if you haven't been in college in a long time and you've lost all your papers, as many of us have, that's okay too. We have worked with students on those kinds of issues, and we want you to say that in your letter of intent or contact me ahead of time if you're one of those students that has a non-traditional background. The letters that you get from your faculty, mentors hopefully from undergrad, are also very important. Again, we'd like those to be from history professors who you had upper division classes with, but we will work with students who don't have the availability of those letters. So we do not require the GRE, and we do have quite a lot of flexibility in how we look at your portfolio when we get it. All our required classes are at night to allow people who are teaching or who have full-time jobs to attend. We also have most of those classes are now available virtually, which means you do not need to actually come to campus if you live more than an hour away. You can take the class via Google Plus or Skype. Our seminars, these night classes, are purely graduate seminars, and they don't have more than 15 people in them, which creates a very close relationship between students and faculty. We also have a number of swing classes, which are undergrad during the day and also in the evening, that we offer on a variety of topics to give you the chance to have a broader base of history. During the summer, we offer 3 classes, 1 each of our terms, and one of those 3 classes is going to be an online class to allow students, again, who have complex schedules to take the class. At the end of the MA, after either 9 or 10 classes, students do their last final project. And that final project, there are 3 different types. You can do a thesis, which is a 6-credit over 2 different semesters, which can include the summer semester. And the thesis is a piece of sustained primary research with 2 readers. Most of our students do an integrative essay, which is only 3 credits and 1 semester, and that is secondary literature only. And finally, we have now a new capstone course for our public history students And that can take a variety of forms, but one of the most common would be for students to research and put together a virtual exhibit for a museum, and sometimes even a real exhibit if they have access to the material. Overall, the program usually takes our students 1.5 to 2 years, but you can do the program at any speed, 1 class a semester, or up to 4 classes a semester. We have a really strong community and community groups among the graduate students. They work with each other, they help each other, and they belong to the History Forum, which is a club on campus, both for grads and undergrads. So the students are very active and are very close with the faculty. Our faculty, we have 8 Chancellor's Awards in Teaching winners among the faculty, and all of our faculty are active researchers and very published and accomplished scholars as well as teachers. Our students win very frequently campus-wide awards. 3 years in a row, the history graduate student won the School of Arts and Humanities and Social Sciences Outstanding Graduate Student Award. We have 17 faculty, full-time faculty, who teach from a range of subjects. So for instance, we have a grouping around early America. We have 3 early American historians, one who studies the history of religion in the American Revolution, the frontier, material culture, the Enlightenment. So those professors together can form a group to advise a student interested in an early America thesis. We also have a group of modern American historians who focus on Civil War and Reconstruction, censorship and legal history, the history of education, and sports history. We have 2 of our faculty who specialize in public history, one an early modern American historian and one a modern American historian, and they teach classes that are very much tied with the local community and museums. We have specialties in medieval history. We have both a European and an Islamic medieval historian. We have specialties in religious history with 3 different faculty focusing on the history of religion. And we have 3 modern Europeanists for Russia, France, and Britain. We also have great strength in gender and women's history across Europe, America, and Latin America. We also offer more general courses in other parts of the world, Africa, Asia, Latin America, and Middle East, which is very useful for teachers who want to be trained to teach world history. Outside of classes, we have a number of opportunities students can take. We have a teaching practicum where students sign up to be a TA for credit to a professor in their class. This allows you both to learn the material from that class, which would be an undergrad class, but also allows you to learn how to teach, do grading of exams and papers, write a lecture, run a seminar. We also have local internship opportunities. As I said, public history students have to do 2 internships, but all our students are encouraged to take on an internship of some sort during their MA. We have close ties with museums and archives in the region, the Strong Museum of Play, the Genesee Country Village and Museum, the Rochester Historical Association. A lot of our graduates have gone on and work in these institutions. We also offer study abroad classes. We have 2 in the summer, 2 coming up this coming summer actually. One in Maynooth, Ireland, run by one of our faculty, Dr. Clark, but in coordination with the faculty at Maynooth. So this is a really exciting experience where you get to work closely with Irish historians as well as our own faculty. We also have one run by Dr. Davila this coming summer in Spain and Morocco about Islamic Spain, which is a very popular course. Every year we offer 2 $5,000 fellowships for students who want to go and study abroad in Maynooth for a semester. So those students can offset the cost of going abroad for MA classes, which will all transfer into the history MA at Brockport, and it ends up costing about the same. With the $5,000 scholarship, you will end up paying about the same to go to Ireland for a semester as you would to stay here. So for students who are interested in European history, specifically Irish history, this is a phenomenal opportunity. We do have a number of GA-ships. We have 2 full GA-ships, which means that students are given 9 credits of tuition paid and a stipend of $3,000 per semester. Those students are then expected to work in a large class as the GA, as the TA for the professor, helping with grading, attendance, classroom management, and sometimes even giving a lecture or two. We also have the Flieger Fellowship, which also gives 9 credits of tuition paid and a stipend, which varies year to year. And those students would also work, the Flieger Fellow would also work within the large classroom. We help our students with professional development by encouraging them to attend conferences, to do research projects. We have money for research trips for students, especially those doing the thesis, up to $1,000 a year, and the university also has funds of up to $1,000 to pay for students to go do research. We've had students do research in Philadelphia, New York, Washington, D.C., and even Ireland and England. There's also money within the university for presenting at a conference up to $300. And we, as faculty, spend a lot of time teaching our students how to present, helping them in their professional skills. Our public history program is especially tied into the community. It allows students to understand and see what museums do and what archives do. And we encourage our public history students to create a virtual portfolio for themselves that they can then use when they are on the job market. So our public history students are especially encouraged to learn some of the skills like ebooks and web design, focusing on the digital humanities, so that then they have something to show for their work that is easier to present than their traditional thesis. Our students have been very successful, both in PhD programs, but also in jobs in the local area, both city schools, museums, archives, and some of them are doing things outside of history, like running their own businesses. But every student we've ever asked has always felt that the MA in history has brought something to their personal development, their professional development, and their intellectual development. So for instance, we've had students who have gone to Carnegie Mellon, Michigan State, New Hampshire, University of New Hampshire, Rutgers University, Syracuse, and Buffalo for their PhDs, and we have students who are archivists at the Strong Museum of Play. The city Rochester historian is an MA from Brockport, and a student recently designed the Genesee Brewery Museum for that company. We also have had students who've gone on to law school, library school, and gone on to get MBAs. If you have any questions, please email me at mmartin@brockport.edu or go to our website and you will find links there to my information and my phone number. Thank you.
Well, hello, I'm Dr. McCarowitz. I'm with the Department of Environmental Science and Biology. I am here to talk about the Masters of Science program in Environmental Science and Biology. We're a thesis-based program. We have about 35 graduate students, all working on theses. These students, in fact, go into considerable effort to develop research programs that have something to do with the environment. And our people work in areas that range from wetlands to plant ecology, to environmental chemistry, to meteorology, to fisheries, to a whole sort of areas that deal with the environment. So we're a very broad program, and it prepares graduate students to go on into the future into either PhD programs or into programs that are job related, and I'll talk about this when I get to the end and I speak about a few students. The important thing in particular with our program is that it has very few required courses, and what I'm trying to get at is that each student's research thesis is based on a particular item that they wish to do that's chosen with a major advisor. So this is a very tightly focused piece of work that relies on a major advisor and a graduate committee. As a result of that, courses are selected from the standpoint of how does this support the particular work that they're going to be doing. So in terms of the type of experience we would like to have from students coming in, we like to see people that have a Bachelor's of Arts or a Bachelor's of Science, and that can be in chemistry, it can be environmental science, it can be biology, it can be meteorology or earth sciences. Again, we're looking for people that wish to do field or laboratory-oriented research, hypothesis-based research, descriptive research, working with the environment. In terms of that, one of the important things for us, of course, is to understand who you are. We all understand from your transcripts how well you've done on grades, but that's not the most important thing for us. We expect that a student coming here will do well in the coursework that's selected as part of the schedule of study. What we're interested in the application is hearing from you about your ability to work in the field, your experience in the field, your experience in the lab. Have you done internships? Have you worked with anybody at the bachelor's degree? Have you gone off to strange places and experienced different kinds of habitats and are capable of dealing with strange places? And the reason I put it that way is that graduate research in terms of a science is a very expensive enterprise for faculty as well as the college. We spend a tremendous amount of time individually working with each student because of the major advisor and the thesis committee. And so what we want to know is that if you're going to work in wetlands, for example, do you understand that if you go out in a wetland that there's a lot of insects, and that if this bothers you, then this is something we would rather know and you have some feeling about that prior to arriving at Brockport because of the time and effort and the cost of training a graduate student. Same thing goes with laboratory experience. If you've done any work or assisted in research, either as a honors thesis, we would like to know about that. So your application should go beyond just the coursework and GPA. We want to know what experiences you've had inside and outside of the classroom that give us an idea that you're going to be capable of working in a laboratory or in a field experience. In terms of letters of recommendation, the letters of recommendation follow from this, in that again, it's okay to send a letter from a person you've taken a course with. That's fine. But I think we're perhaps more interested in somebody that can provide a view of your experience in the lab or in the field. Are you capable of thinking on your feet? Are you capable of working out in a field and understanding the limitations of your abilities in such situations? We have folks that work on vessels. We have folks that work out in the forest. We have folks that work in the labs. We would like to hear about what experience you have had under those kinds of circumstances. Where can I go from here? Graduate education experience, again, in terms of our program is very much tied in with the thesis and the thesis research. We expect that you're going to take courses, and again, those courses are selected with the advice of a committee. But most of the opportunity for students here is working with faculty on projects that are either funded by agencies such as EPA, USDA, NOAA, New York State DEC. Faculty at Brockport and ES&B, Environmental Science and Biology, have grants, have contracts, have those kinds of mechanisms and laboratories that allow students to do this. So the experience one would get here is one more akin to a Research One university in terms of the field, lab, and research experience. I think that this is very important because, one, what we're trying to train you for is the future as either a scientist going on for a PhD or a scientist working in an agency or working for a NGO, a non-government organization that deals with science-type subjects. It might be more policy-related, it might be more laboratory-related. But again, we do have internships with DEC, New York State Department of Environmental Conservation. We do have a lot of opportunities for students to go on to conferences. I took 3 students just a year ago to the International Association of Great Lakes Research Conference in Minnesota, Duluth. This is quite typical for our faculty to bring graduate students, actually as well as undergraduate students, onto these various national type conferences where they get to interact with other scientists and learn that they're not isolated, that there is a bigger consensus in terms of science, that science is a living thing that's not necessarily isolated to a lab, but it's a group of ideas that are being studied and contradicted and refocused and energized by young people coming into it. In terms of our faculty, I should note that we do have a couple of days a year here, Scholars Day, where students are allowed to present. We also have a graduate conference each year where students present their work. And we also have some fun things in that at least once a year we have a picnic for graduate students where they get to meet each other and other faculty. Sometimes you'll see that many of the graduate students are invited over to faculty homes for dinner in the evening or for just hamburgers and hots and get to know each other. Every student has a desk, works within a group, within a particular professor's lab. So there's a lot of opportunity to exchange and grow by learning from other people if one chooses. Our faculty is quite diverse, and I'll mention faculty that are directly in the environmental science department first. I also will mention some other faculty because our program actually includes people from the earth sciences department and the chemistry department. So Catherine Matangelo is our newest faculty member. She works in the area of plant ecology, human impacts on plant communities, long-term community change, and paleoecology. She's brand new, coming from Stanford University, and she's a wonderful addition to our effort here. Dr. James Haynes, a fisheries biologist who works on macroinvertebrate communities, also works in the tropics to some degrees. Most of his work has dealt in the past in terms of fisheries. Again, he has about 5 graduate students right now. Myself, I'm Joe McCarowitz. I work in limnology and watershed science. I usually carry about 4 or 5 graduate students. We work in areas of watershed analysis, stream analysis, zooplankton, phytoplankton, toxicology, and things of that nature. Dr. Norman, who's the current chair of the department, he's a bird and mammal specialist. He works on community structure and function and also grassland ecology. He carries about 5, 6 students also. Dr. Rinshad, who just received tenure here, is a freshwater ecologist, works on lipids and fatty acids in fish. He's more or less a fish physiologist. Very important area of work because of the implications to aquaculture. Dr. Wilcox is the wetlands ecologist here. He's got plenty of work to do and a number of students in terms of wetlands. He's supported by several grants. I should note that everybody I've mentioned has grants now that are supporting students. We have, probably 15 students now that are supported through graduate assistantships. Graduate assistantships are funds that come through support from outside external sources that provide stipends as well as some tuition waivers for students. We also have 2 TAs, teaching assistantships, that we have each year that are awarded. They assist in environmental science class and also sometimes in the general biology class. Besides these people, we also have a few people from earth science. Dr. Paul Richards is a watershed specialist, works in hydrology and SWOT modeling. Dr. Mark Knoll, who works with several students now, is a biogeochemist, works on trace element geochemistry. So a lot of folks that actually integrate and work with each other. Dr. Zolwick is the chair of the Earth Science Department and also works in the area of hydrology and SWOT modeling and things of that nature. So it's about 10 people. We're about to bring on a new faculty member next year. We're currently in a search for an invertebrate ecologist. This person will have a background in entomology, aquatic invertebrates, and community ecology. Where have our students gone? Well, there's been a number of places. Some of them have ended up teaching, for example. Locally, there's Genesee Community College, Monroe Community College, Paul Smith's College in the Adirondacks, Finger Lakes Community College, that with their master's degree, they've gone on to teach full-time at these positions. There's a number of people that have gone on to what I call NGOs, non-government organizations, such as the Nature Conservancy. These are people that work with environmental issues and policy. There's probably half a dozen of that type. We have several people that work for Environmental Protection Agency. One gentleman, for instance, works with the Great Lakes Water Quality Program in Chicago. We have another person, a young lady, that's working with the Water Pollution Control Office out of Cincinnati for the EPA, basically a lab position where she's in charge of a lab doing toxic analysis. We have people that have gone on for PhDs. At least 5 of my students have done that. They have ended up teaching usually at the university level. Some of them have gone into agency work. So there's a great number of things. Some of them gone simply on to high school teaching, and that's a favorite thing. Columbia Analytical here in Rochester. Almost half the people that work there are out of our master's program. And there's other places, U.S. Department of Agriculture, USGS, all these places are often hiring people out of our programs, and we have about 150 students that have graduated over the past 30 years. So there are a number of folks that have gone on and done very well. Again, if you have any questions, my name is Joe McCarowitz. I'm in the Department of Environmental Science and Biology. You may reach me at this email, jmakerew@brockport.edu. Thank you for your time.
Okay, my name is Howard Skogman, Dr. Howard Skogman from the Department of Mathematics, and I'm the director of the graduate program for the MA in Mathematics at the college at Brockport. Our program is, in general, a pure math master's program. It's really just a math-focused program. The courses that are involved, the main courses, the core courses, are in algebra, analysis, and statistics, and then beyond that, students have an option to pick from a list of electives that we offer, depending on what the student hopes to accomplish in the future. At least 2 of those courses must be at the 600 level, and then the other 5 can be at the 500 level. Generally, most of the courses that are in the plan of study are in math or in some highly related field. The prospective students should have completed something close to an undergraduate mathematics major, similar to the one that's offered at Brockport. This would involve courses such as discrete math, linear algebra, differential equations, algebra analysis, some electives, probability, etc. And any courses that are missing can be made up for with a conditional admit, potentially. The application process is very straightforward. There's an online application that requires students to fill out some basic information, submit transcripts from former schools, also get a couple letters of recommendation from people who know their mathematical ability very well, and transcripts from any schools they have attended earlier, in addition to a statement of interest as to why the student is hoping to study mathematics and get an MA in math. There's 2 letters of recommendation that are required, and they should really just identify what the student's mathematical strengths, what makes the student a very good math student, and why they will succeed in a graduate program in mathematics. The educational experience, again, the program is centered around the core material of algebra, analysis, and statistics, which gives students a very strong background in some of the fundamental areas of math. And any student who completes these will be pretty well prepared for what they might do later. Beyond that, there are other courses that we offer. For example, more courses in statistics, more abstract courses like geometry, topology, and number theory, more applied courses like actuarial math. And this all depends on what the student is hoping to do afterwards. Students who want to go on and teach might take courses in history of math, adolescent mathematics, college geometry, etc. for the New York State standards. Whereas a student who's preparing to go on and get a PhD might focus on more abstract courses like topology and more analysis, complex analysis, advanced differential equations, etc. Students who are hoping to go into more applied fields would aim for more applied courses, such as more further statistics courses, more differential equations courses, math modeling, stochastic math modeling. And students who want to go into statistics, there are a number of statistics courses that one can take. We are in the process of developing a special track within the master's program for applied statistics and actuarial mathematics, which will help students who are trying to prepare for jobs in the statistics field or in actuarial areas. The educational experience for the students in the program, it's a small program. There's typically 20 to 30 students in the program at any one time. Most students are able to complete the program in 3 semesters. The 3 semesters are sort of a minimum because you do have to take one course in algebra analysis and statistics, and those are offered sequentially. But the typical time to complete the program is 3 semesters. Most of the students do work together on homeworks. They often meet with professors together. They also present some of their own research, and they'll give talks amongst themselves to help each other out and help each other learn the material. Students can also work with faculty on research. It's possible to do a thesis for some course credit. We have faculty that representing a lot of areas in mathematics. For example, there's combinatorics, there's financial math and statistics, there's number theory myself, graph theory, real analysis, functional analysis, operator theory, differential equations, complex analysis. What else am I forgetting? Well, and a new statistics person that we've just hired who will start in the spring semester, who does more applied statistics. All right. So it is possible to do research projects with students. You can also present the work at the graduate research conference held in the spring semester or at other local conferences. This is a very common thing for students to do. So what do students want to do with our program? Most commonly, well, there's actually quite a variety of things. Many of our students are hoping to teach at the community college level as opposed to the secondary level, and that's why they pursue a master's in mathematics as opposed to education. However, some of our students are hoping to teach at the secondary or high school level, but they would just like to have a stronger background in mathematics. Some of our students are going on to get into actuarial careers, statistics. They're working for computer companies such as Google and AMD. Some of our students are going on to get PhDs. A number of our students have recently completed PhDs. They're going to very good schools. We had a student who got a PhD from University of Rochester recently, another one who went to University of California at San Diego, another one went to Carnegie Mellon, another one is currently going to Ohio State. So really top-notch PhD schools. And the MA program is an excellent preparation for a PhD because it gives you the chance to get an extra background in the fundamentals of mathematics, especially algebra and analysis that are going to be required for graduate study to go on and get a PhD. But again, students can take courses depending on their interests. For a student who is hoping to go into an applied field, they can, there's only the 3 required courses, and then after that you can tailor the rest of the courses around your academic or your future career interests. It's also possible to have independent studies in courses that you would like to take, but we don't currently offer. For example, we have preparation courses for the first 2 actuarial exams at the undergrad level, If one wanted to take courses for the financial math, the MFE exam and the MLS exam, it's possible to do those as an independent study with a faculty member here. What else? Oh, there are also assistantships available. A number of our students earn graduate assistantships, which entitles them to 9 credits of, well, there's a separate scholarship for 9 credits of graduate tuition, in addition to, I think, a $3,000 stipend per semester. Some of those students work over in the Student Learning Center, and that they're required to work 15 hours a week as a tutor there. Many of our other students who do not receive assistantships choose to work in the Student Learning Center also. There's always a big need for math tutors over there, especially at the graduate level when the graduate students can tutor most of the undergraduate material. Other students get assistantships. We have a student who is working with the Living Learning community in math and science. It's a tutor specifically for that group. Another student is doing something with Microsoft Excel and spreadsheets for promotion and advancement. And other students are working with the EOP program, et cetera. So there's a variety of programs around where students can find assistantships. There's also grading opportunities for students who are interested in it. It's a very collaborative environment because most of the students do work together. They know each other. They often work on projects together. What else? Well, I don't know. I think I'm out of material, so my name is Howard Skogman. If you have further questions or you'd like to know more about the program, please email me at hskogman, HSKOGMAN, @brockport.edu. And that's it.